It's very important to have a smart CPA who works on your side to manage your tax and financial matters. You need someone to represent you to deal with Canada Revenue Agency, banks, financial institutions, or government. You need someone who can keep you updated on recent tax laws, government benefits, and various funding options available to you. At Balbir CPA Advice Center, we work for you to grow your business and build your wealth. We serve our clients all over Canada with our robust cloud tools. Download our iPhone and Android mobile app to get updated information about tax, benefits, and business opportunities. Visit www.cpaadvicecenter.ca or call 888-729-1860. You would love dealing with a modern accounting firm.
Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskar. Welcome to Samskruthi, My Culture, My Identity. On this episode of Samskruthi, we will be having Kuchipudi Gupshup with renowned Kuchipudi dancer Shobha Anand. Let me give a brief introduction about Shobha Anand. Srimati Shobha Anand have developed more than 35 years of her life to the dance. Having given more than 500 performances across the globe, Shobha has also performed on several occasions for India's national television. She has started her journey of dance at the age of 3, completed her Arangetram at the age of 6, being one of the youngest in India. She had a privilege to perform in front of President and the Prime Minister of India at the age of 9. And at the age of 10, Shobha was awarded the Cultural Talent Research Scholarship by the by the Center of Culture Resources India. She continued to receive a scholarship for 10 successive years. She was invited to perform in France and UK when she just turned 10. She was a recipient of numerous awards and recognition for her dance performance. Shobha has been fortunate to learn from several eminent gurus such as Guru Srimati Meera Chandrasekhar, Kalaimani K.J. Sarasa, Guru Jairaman Rao, Guru Vempati Chinna Shastram. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Chinna Satyam.
Chinna Satyam. Okay, Chinna Satyam and Guru Srimati Vaijayanti Kashi. Shobha is adapted in both Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi style of dance. Shobha is artistic director of Nritya Tharangini School of Dances and Choreography. She has been teaching dance for over 20 years in GTA for over 7 years. Her vision is to keep alive the rich Indian tradition and culture through the medium of dance in the next generation. Welcome to Samskruthi, Shobha. It's a great pleasure to have you.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Thank you.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
Good. So how is the lockdown treating you?
Not bad. I'm learning a lot of positive things as well.
Good.
Yeah,
Good to know.
yeah. It's hard, but yeah, it's going on. It's going on. I hope someday we'll be there soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hoping for things to open up very fast.
Absolutely, yes.
So how are you managing your classes? Is it completely online or how are you doing it?
It is completely online as of now. My other girls, the grown-up kids, they are all doing online.
Okay.
And my tiny little girls who are between 4 and 6, for now, I have paused them because
You paused it.
yeah,
Okay.
they're so tiny, right? So
Yes.
it's kind of tricky and difficult for them to stay focused.
Yeah.
So yeah, otherwise it's going on. So far, so good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It's not been fun for artists, the lockdown for the last 2 years. Yeah.
Absolutely, especially for dance, it's not a thing. No,
Yeah.
not at all. Yeah.
So tell us something about yourself. Like, how and where you grew and how you got inclined towards dance.
Okay. I was born in Kolkata and I grew up in Nagpur, Maharashtra.
Hmm.
My entire schooling, college, everything was in Nagpur.
Okay.
And I had this, I had my feet tapping at the age of 3 to just some music, watching TV. When my mom noticed this, and she put me into dance classes at the age of 3. And my first guru was Srimati Meera Chandrasekhar, and I was her first student as well. So so that is how this started. I mean, from then on the journey went on and on and on. And like how you already mentioned, I joined at the age of 3, and then I finished my arangetram, also known as Ranga Pravesha, at the age of 6 with my guru's blessings. And with that I got the national record in the country.
Yeah, good. That's good. Did you see that clipping of her Arangetram news article? That yes. Oh my God, this was an 84.
Yes.
Wow, pretty impressive.
Yeah, February 29th. Yes.
27th. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So, who are your guru? I mean, sorry. Before talking about your guru, so tell us about what fascinated you the most about Kuchipudi.
Okay, like how I said, I started with Bharatanatyam.
Oh, you started with Bharatanatyam.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My dancing my Guru Srimati Meera Chandrasekhar was a Bharatanatyam teacher, and I started with her. And as the years went by, I finished Arangetram, and then my mom, she had she met one of the Kuchipudi performers, and she saw a couple of performances, and okay, she just said, okay, can we just try, let's try a bit of this. So around the age of 10, approximately, I got into Kuchipudi, and I started, learning all the basics, everything, the adugulus, everything, starting from scratch, everything. Eventually, over the years, I started liking it a lot. Many reasons. The one of the most fascinating part is it's very vibrant. Okay, it's a very vibrant form of dance from Andhra Pradesh. The cholukatas, which is the bowl, and the entire fashion of performing that is pretty fast. Okay,
Okay.
so the way it starts, the way it ends, the tadinginatums, the tadinginatums, all of that is like goes one after the other.
Okay.
So that was one reason. Vibrant steps, lively eye movements, going around the abhinaya, the expressions. Uh, Another thing was it is dialogue based as well. It used to be dialogue based. Even now, certain teachers incorporate dialogue based dance as well, because originally it was in the dance drama form.
Yes.
The other thing is it's a mix of Tandava and Lasya. Lasya meaning the feminine gestures, the feminine way of portraying a particular line, and Tandava meaning the manly, the Shiva, the energetic steps. So it's a mix of both of these. The other unique aspect is the artist eventually over the years of practice learns an item called as Tarangam.
Okay.
And that is a super duper speciality of Kuchipudi, where the artist performs on a big brass plate.
Oh,
And there's a picture of mine as well, balancing on the rim of
brass plate.
the brass plate. And I am also holding a brass pot on my head, which is filled with water. This can also be accompanied with your hands holding tiny plates and candles and diyas on them. So the entire moves are done according to jatis, and there are a lot of attamis involved in that. So the entire balance is done on the brass plate, and the whole thing is performed to a Carnatic music and is pure nritta, and That was another thing which fascinates me a lot about Tarangam, about Kuchipudi. The other aspect also is something, it is a technical aspect, and this is called as the Pravesha Daravu, which again impressed me so much. See, what happens in Kuchipudi is, because it is from the dance drama, background, there used to be these characters which had specific entries when they used to come back into this on the stage. So every character had to be portrayed in a particular way, in a particular vesham, in a particular form, and they had a specific entry to do.
Okay.
So that is what is Pravesha Daru, which plays a very important role in a Kuchipudi repertoire. Each dancer is, introduced to a certain type of uh, entry, like how I mentioned, because that then portrays the identity of the character they are trying to show. So the that is one aspect which really I'm just in love with, that Pravesha Daru part of it as well. And the other one is Bhama Kalabam. You have already mentioned about it, so I would just go a little through it. So the Bhama Kalabam is another very important thing, important dance number which which a Kuchipudi dancer should know, or would have eventually learned in their Kuchipudi journey. So this entire dance, it revolves around the character Satyabhama. Okay, and she is a beautiful lady, but she's jealous of the Lord Krishna. So I'm just trying to explain a little about this Bhama
Sure.
Kalapam. Bhama being the name of that lady, Kalapam meaning jealousy, complaint.
Okay.
Okay, so everything put together. So she complains about Krishna because she's jealous because he's roaming around with Radha. So this is such a beautiful number where her entry is specifically shown through a Pravesha Dharam. So this entire Bhama Kalabam was, innovated by Sri Siddhendra Yogi. Okay, and I also remember the total traditional Satyabhama was done, the entry, the Pravesha Daravu of this character was done by two people holding a dupatta on, in the side of the stage, and the jade or the jada, which we call the hair braid of the dancer. It used to be very long. Satyabhama should have a longer,
Long hair. Yeah.
long jade tied up, and
Yeah.
that jade used to be put, on the dupatta like this.
Oh.
Yeah, and two guys used to hold that, and they used to, and in the center there used to be the Satyabhama. Only her behind the dupatta, you can see her coming. That used to be such a dramatic Pravesha Darabu concept of Satyabhama. And in fact, I thought that I could show you how this Pravesha Darabu
Yeah,
of
please,
this
if you can.
character called Satyabhama can be shown, just a glimpse of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, sure. Please. We
Yeah?
would like to
Okay.
watch that. Yes,
Yeah, and
please.
I would love to show this to you. So I'll just play the audio.
Okay.
And yes. So I just have to move my chair when I'm
Sure,
sitting.
sure. Definitely.
Yeah, one second. Okay. Can you hear? Okay. So, what I was trying to show in that was the abhinaya of Satyabhama, which is of, the pride which she's so proud, she's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's proud of her beauty. Yes.
She's so proud of her beauty, and she's like, "Hey, look, you're not looking at me." And she's holding the jade uh, in her hand, and then she moves around with the
Yeah.
jade. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. That's really nice.
Yes, it is.
Uh, so tell us about your guru and your mentors.
Okay. So, like how I said, my first guru was Guru Srimati Meera Chandrasekhar in Nagpur, where I started. She taught me all the basics, yes. And the picture you're seeing is me in the Krishna avatar when I performed a dance drama on Krishna Tulabaram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is still so much in my heart, even though it's so many years back. And she portrayed this so beautifully for me. And there was a Narada, there was me, there was this Krishna Tulabaram, so beautiful. So she was my first teacher. And the second guru was, so eventually when I started with her, this was moving into Kuchipudi, and my second guru was Guru Jairam Rao and Vanashri Rao.
Okay.
And yes, they were teachers from Delhi. They are still based in Delhi,
Okay.
India. Yeah. So they were real taskmasters. And they used to come in a month for 15 days to Nagpur from Delhi.
Okay.
And I was learning under them with a couple of more of my friends. And, every day for at least 5 hours was practice with them. So they used to stay in one of the parents' homes each month they came. And yeah, that was my journey of with them. And I learned all the basics, the Adugulus of Kuchipudi, this Krishna Shabdam, the Bama Kalabam, all this was learned with them. My next guru was Vempati Chinna Satyam Guru Garu. Oh my God, what a guru! I mean, I was privileged, honored to learn, under his guidance and in Kuchipudi Art Academy in Chennai.
Okay.
Yeah, and so how I went up to Chennai was like my mom. She used to take me to Chennai every summer holidays after
Oh.
school. Yeah, back in India we used to have 2 months, of course, here also. So the concept back then with my mother was so different that I got no summer holidays, no nothing. She used to take me straight to Chennai, and where I used to practice under the guidance of Vimpati Garu, 4 hours in the morning for Kuchipudi from 8 a.m. to 12 in the afternoon, and 4 hours in the evening for Bharatanatyam from Kalaimamini KJ Sarasa in Sarasalaya School of Bharatanatyam. So I did both of these styles back and forth, morning for Kuchipudi, evening for Bharatanatyam, and this was my 2.5 months of hardcore practice in Chennai. And I used to live in relatives' houses here and there. It was not easy in the heat of Chennai.
Yes.
And the academies had no fans, no nothing. 4 hours continuous practice. Yeah, that was my practice with Vempati Chinna Satyam Garu. My next guru was, like how I mentioned, Kalaimamini KJ Sarasa from the, yes, she's my lovely Bharatanatyam teacher. And she was so strict that she never spoke a word. She just used to look at me through her eyes, and that's it. So she was so strict, yet so lovable when she taught me all the nuances of Bharatanatyam. Complete disciplinarian. She expected pin drop silence in the class. And my present guru now is Srimati Vaijayanti Kashi, who is with me all the time, even now. I'm in touch with her, and I used to be practice with her. I've given shows with her when I was in Bangalore, and from Shambhavi School of Dance, which is her school, and with her daughter. Yeah, so she's my present mentor. So
Awesome.
it's been a journey of different gurus.
It looks like mostly your mother was the main pillar.
Main pillar was my mother, who took me here and there, dealt with the gurus and made me learn everything. And my father was the one who used to host all my shows, and he used to do the talking and everything. Yeah, so it's been a team effort. Yes.
Yes, so you're trained in Bharatanatyam as well.
Yes.
So how do you how do I put? So how do you differentiate the techniques of Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam? So the reason I ask is for a common man, they both look similar. The attire looks similar, but technically it's not. Um, all they see is the headset, everything is dressed, it's the same fan tape dress, so they think it's same. So can you walk us through the difference in the technical aspect of the differences between the Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam?
Yeah. So, see, the very basic difference is that these two, styles of dance are from two different states in India. Kuchipudi is from Andhra Pradesh. This is the very basic difference. Um, you know, uh, the main it doesn't like it's not such a drastic difference as such, other than the very basic aramandis and things. So, in like how this used to be performed by men, right?
Yes.
So women eventually were not allowed to perform. That's one of the basic difference. I'll come to the technicalities in a bit. And Bharatanatyam was started by the female dancers themselves, were performing at the temples, you know. So this being a basic difference. Now, Kuchipudi consists of singers who primarily sing in Telugu in a live concert, and the main language being Telugu. And they depict the stories of characters. Okay, the other character, the main thing is Kuchipudi uses the Chaturvida Abhinaya. That is, they use the Angika Abhinaya, they use Vachika Abhinaya, they use Aharya Abhinaya, and Satvika Abhinaya. Okay, so to make it very simple, out of these four Chaturvida Abhinayas, the most important one is Vachika Abhinaya. That means using speech. Okay. So in the entire dance drama presentation, they talk, they give dialogues. Okay, so a certain dialogue which I also remember is they as they perform Oyamma Madhavi. So there will be a Narada coming into the on the stage, and he says Oyamma Madhavi, and then a little dialogue in Telugu. So they use a lot of Vachika Abhinaya, which is not done um, in Bharatanatyam. So, if there is not exactly a dialogue, the Kuchipudi allows you to do lip sync. That is, you can sing along with the music, with the song, which Bharatanatyam doesn't allow you to do. So that
But
I
in, I'll interrupt, but in Bharatanatyam back then, the dancer would sing and dance. So over
yeah,
the period it
over
changed.
the period, yeah, it
Over
has
the period it
changed.
changed. Otherwise, Bharatanatyam dancers back when it
Yeah,
initially started, the dancer should be able to sing. If you
huh?
sing Balama and all, they would sing and dance.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. So yeah, so like how I said, the Vachika Abhinaya plays a very important role, and then the Angika Abhinaya, that is, how they use their limbs, like how I mentioned about the Tandava and the Lasya part of it. So how they clearly emphasize through the Angika Abhinaya, is through the body structure, through the hands, through the limbs, that is one thing they do. The other part is Aharya. Now, since I said that this was male oriented initially, and all the characters used to be very, very loud. Right? When they made entry into the stage, they make a nice and loud noise, and it's shown that way. So the Aharyam, in the sense, what is the costume, the makeup, okay, the lights, the setup, everything would come under Aharya Abhinaya. So that plays a very vital role in Kuchipudi. And then comes your Satvika, which is, of course, expressions through emotions. All classical dancers have a set pattern, whether it is Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Odissi, they all follow Tisram, Chatusram, Khandam, all typically here and there. So base is the same. The one main another difference is the tirmanams, that is the ending of every jati. Even if the shoulder cut, which is the bowl or the words, even if it is the same, the way it is performed is different in Bharatanatyam. And so that is another key point you would notice with a Kuchipudi and a Bharatanatyam performer. The Kuchipudi performer will have very graceful moves, a lot of Shringara comes into action in Kuchipudi because they believe in a lot of soft moves when they show the abhinayas and the hand moves and things. So again, I would like to show you just the Tirmanam part as to how the shoulder cutters can be the same, whereas the way it is performed can be done. The video you can play after I finish the Tirmanam.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
So could you see me full for the Bamakala?
Yes, I could see you. Yes.
Okay, great. So I'll again move the chair. I'll just go back and I'll show you a little glimpse. It's kind of hard in a sari, but I'll just try to
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
incorporate the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the Tirmanam, like how I said, is the ending sequence. The like how in Bharatanatyam we say that kitataka tarigina tom, okay, or tadingina tom, tadingina tom, tadingina tom. Okay, so the last bowl or the word is the same, tadinginatum for both. But how it could be probably shown in these two different varied styles, I'll just go back and show you. Right. Okay. Can you see my legs, or do I have to lower the screen?
Move it a little bit low. Yeah.
I'll do it? Okay.
You have to move your camera a little bit low. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it right now. Am I okay now?
Yeah, good.
Okay, great. So I'll just first show you what it is in Bharatanatyam part, like how I said the Tirmanams, which is the end as Tadingirnatum. Okay. So in a Bharatanatyam, we would do Tadingirnatum, Tadingirnatum, Tadingirnatum. So, or the other way of doing a Tirmanam, which is the end in Bharatanatyam, Tadingirnatum, Tadingirnatum, Tadingirnatum. So what you see here are rigid square moves. That is, the hands are tied. You do this, do this, do this, do this. Here, here, here. So it's rigid. The same thing if we do in Kuchipudi, I would do. I'll go again. So what you saw in Kuchipudi form is there is a lot of the torso makes a very graceful move. It goes all the way here, whereas Bharatanatyam is this. Okay, that's one thing which you would notice as a difference between these two. The other thing is, if I have to walk forward, I would, in Bharatanatyam, I would use the heels, I keep my hands here and I will do dit, 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 dit. In Kuchipudi, it can be done both ways, heels and toes. I'll show you how we do the same thing in the heels, but hands would be to the side and we will have a more graceful move as doing dit, 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 dit. So you see this. This is all the Lasya part of it, where there's a lot of grace. We are still doing on the heels only. So these are certain things which would be noticed, between a Bharatanatyam and a Kuchipudi key points. Yeah. Oh, I can show you one more, Adavu, Sushmita. I would like to show you one more. Okay. This is one of my favorites. The In Bharatanatyam, as we say that ta, tai, tai, ta, dit, tai, tai, ta. Okay, so um, the Adava as such would be in Bharatanatyam ta, tai, tai, ta. If you notice, the lines are all straight. This, and back. This, and back. The same thing, the same side word moves. In Kuchipudi, we would say ta, tai, 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 tai. We could also say tai, ta, kit, tak, tak, din, tak, tom. Ta, ta, kit, tak, tak, din, tak, tom. That would be done. Observe the difference between ta and tai, tak, tai. Kuchipudi would be tai, ta, kit, tak, tak, din, tak, tom. Ta, ta, kit, tak, tak, din, tak, tom. The in Kuchipudi, we put a lot of focus on the toes, hopping on the toes, which is kunchitapa. So this is one more I wanted to share with you.
That's a very good demo, Shobha. Like not
Thank you.
everyone notices this fine differences. Like as a common man, like until and unless you're a trained dancer, you won't pay attention to these
Yeah, the minute details. Yes.
minute details. Yeah, so they just think that it's all the same.
Yes.
So, are there different styles in Kuchipudi as well? Like, so in Bharatnatyam, we have five different main styles that we are very known of, based on the where the town they first started, where the Natuvanar belongs to the town, like Tanjore, Pandanallur, or Mysore style, Vallur style. Uh, so, what about is there any different styles or in
There is,
Kuchipudi as well?
well, there are, it's not any specific styles as such. It is more of the Vedantam style. It's not as given in importance as Bharatanatyam, but for overall knowledge, we say that Vedantam style and Vempati Garu style. So what Vempati Chinna Satyam, he modified from the Vedantam style, which was more of the folk dance types.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's about it about the styles as such.
So there is no major difference when it comes to the other technicalities.
No, no, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So, well, moving further, can you shed some light on decision making process? Why you? Oh, I'm sorry if we forgot to see the clipping. Yes.
The audio is not playing. Shushmita, the audio is not playing.
Yes, that was a nice uh, clipping. Though we couldn't see, we have a short of time, so we just had to end. Otherwise, we would have enjoyed watching the whole.
Yeah.
So back to the question that I wanted to ask. Like, I'm pretty curious. Like, could you shed some light on the decision making process? Why you chose Bharatanatyam over Kuchipudi?
Oh, I have not chosen Bharatanatyam over
No,
Kuchipudi.
like as a teaching in your school.
Okay, good question. A very good question. Now, other than the very basic differences which I spoke about, the main difference of why I did not, I mean, to answer that question would be the adagulus, the way it starts, the basic steps are harder to start off with than Bharatanatyam. Okay, so Bharatanatyam basics would be the first adagu, as they say, like in general, I'm saying as tai, ya, tai. I can show you this back again, so tai, ya, tai. So that's tapping on your
It's just
feet.
the tapping right and
Yeah,
left leg.
it's right, left, very basic. Whereas in Kuchipudi, the first adagu Sholukattu itself is tam, dig, tai. Tatta, hatta, tai. This is the first adavu itself. And in the first adavu itself, you have to incorporate your kataka mukham and the alapadmam in alternate ways. That is tam, dig, tai. This is how your hand has to go in the first adavu itself. Okay, so whereas your tattadavu, the first one, you can afford to just stretch your hand out, keep your pataka hasta there, and just focus on your are mandi. And so this one involves the legs. So I will go back and quickly show you how the legs also are done for this adavu. Okay. Okay. So the first adagu for Kuchipudi itself would be as big, three. So if you notice, I'm lifting my legs alternated. So this is your first adagu. The second would be tam, three, all the way up. So if you notice, there is a lot happening in the adagus itself. Um, Shushmita, I don't see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just that little thing, but it's not that I would love to teach Kuchipudi. Anybody is welcome to just come in. Uh, yes, yeah, that's the very. I feel Bharatanatyam allows enough spacing for little children to start off with, and then they are free to move to Kuchipudi also if they wish to, like how I did.
So, um, you have a very long career in dance. So tell us your memorable performances from Kuchipudi career.
I have a lot of memories, a lot. Now it's almost 35 plus years I'm dancing. But the most nicest, cutest ones will be when I was appreciated by Sri Rajiv Gandhi, who was the prime minister back then. And yes, and he patted me on my back and he said, "Bahut अच्छे बच्चे, बहुत अच्छे," twice. And that he was such a darling. He said it so nicely. So that is like I can't get out of that. That's He was so sweet. And the next one was the President R. Venkatraman, who watched my performance for that's my guru Meera
Yes.
Chandrasekhar, and the blue sari is my mother behind
Okay.
me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he watched my performance for almost 2 hours, and then he also mentioned about me in his autobiography book.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, so that's another memory which I have. The third and the very nice thing was with my guru, Srimati Vaijanti Kashi. So what she did was there was this performance coming up. We hardly had any time, and she said, "Shobha, I want you to learn Ardha Narishwara." Okay,
Mm.
and that's a very again the mix of Tandava and Lasya, and she gave me only 3 days to pick up, an entire number, which is for about 15 minutes. And she said, my daughter, who's Pratiksha Kashi, that is Vaijanti Kashi's daughter, she will be Parvati, you will be Shiva. I am giving you only 3 days. It was such a mix of Abhinaya, such a mix of the entire character which I had to put off as Shiva. She hardly gave me any time. So she first said, I will be Parvati. And she said, you do with me. My hands were trembling. I'm like, ma'am, Parvati. I'm like, okay, Pratiksha will do with you. I said, fair enough. And then I had to get into the Aharya Abhinaya part of it as well for this. She dressed up in the tiger skin and with the jadai and the half a moon, put a moosh, a real moosh, and yeah, that was another, and yeah, we performed straight in 3 days.
Wow.
We practiced for about 7 to 8 hours a day. I used to go back home. I was married. I still had a family waiting for me back in the house. I used to take my kinetic Honda and come back home at 11 and say, I'm program, I have to practice. So, yeah, these are the memorable performances which I will always hold very close to my heart. Because that was not an easy number, because that had so many jatis, the Ardhanarishwara.
Yeah.
Ma'am just put me a challenge, and then she was so happy. She said, you did it.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Tandava is not easy to do, especially it has a lot of footworks and a lot of jatis.
Oh my gosh.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Especially the moves, like there was a 1, 2, 3, 4. So the way she wanted me to expand out and show that manly thing
Yes.
was quite a thing to do.
It's full of energy, actually.
Yes, yes.
The most of the time when the Tandava comes, I always prefer to have a male partner so that they will do all the work.
Yeah, so that's what I mentioned. She just reversed the whole
You
thing.
you need lot of energy to do it.
Lots,
I
lots.
can imagine, yes.
There was this jati, there was a part in that when there was a piece where I just showed you like na 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 na. She made me do this piece at least 25 times to a point when I said, ma'am, I'm like, Pratiksha, please help me. This is so hard. And she's like, Akka, you can do it. Akka, you can do it. I'm like, okay. So yeah, she was a taskmaster. She still is such a sweet guru for me. She understands so much, the understanding, the wavelength also is such a big thing for having a good guru.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is another memory. Yes.
So, any advice for the younger generation who want to pursue their career?
Lots of advice. Lots of advice.
Or even for our viewers, if someone wants to, learn Kuchipudi, so your advice.
Advice in the sense, everybody is most welcome to learn. Okay. To me, I feel that children here especially, they should pick up some kind of traditional Indian dance forms. They should learn. It's just so the traditions, they're connected to the tradition. They hold up to our culture. Okay, they learn so much discipline. That would be one of my little thingy I would want to share. The kids can give it a serious thought, because it helps. It helps so much. Dance has so many benefits: physical, mental, spiritual. It covers everything. As a teacher, the other advice would be sincere practice. If there are students listening to me, whether they are your students, my students, other children who are learning other things, my sincere advice would be practice. There are 3 alphabet P's in life. That is practice, practice, practice. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no other magic which works. Devotion, dedication. So that's one thing. And I would encourage the children to pick up, to learn something, at least. This is what is my advice to them, Only when they learn, they will realize what they are receiving. They will learn what is Guru Shishya Parampara, what is a Guru, what is a Shishya, what is the relationship we share, what is the sanctity of this relationship. It goes a long way, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so
uh, it's very difficult to develop that relation in this for this generation of kids, for where most of them prefer learning through YouTube.
absolutely, that's another problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they
everything
don't.
comes very easy, especially kids who are growing up here. Everything comes very easy. They are not used to the strict kind of learning like how probably we would have gone through. You know, what is a 3 hour practice? What is an arimandi? What is anga shuddham? Why you keep your hands here? Why should you follow the yato hastas? It takes them some time to understand the question why. They're
Yes.
not used to it. It's something. So I would personally want this to be imbibed into the curriculums of kids here, especially in India. They are anyway. They will get all this. They are learning, but I feel there should be more stress for these kind of traditional art here as well in a big way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to pass on, whatever I have learned in these, and I'm still learning. My learning is still not over. There's still so much to know around us, still so much to read. Every chapter is so much of a depth, right? It never ends. It just never ends. So
Yes, we mostly think we have learned, like if you just finish your Arangetram, they think you have learned everything, but that's not the case. It's a,
Arangetam is too far. First, do the adavus, get the hang of your Angashuddham,
yeah,
understand why you're doing this particular practice. They start getting bored with the adavus itself. It's like, when do we do something else? Put one line of music and they're happy.
yeah,
So it's a mix, Shushmita. I would say it's a mix of cultures. It's a mix of everything. Uh, Striking a balance would be the best deal,
yeah, that's
and
true.
learn in such a way that it gets interesting, and yeah, can go on.
Yes. It was a great pleasure having you, Shobha. Thanks for
Thank
your
you.
time. You gave us a huge information on Kuchipudi. It was a very good demo where, like someone who doesn't know like, what Kuchipudi is, they got to understand it through you. So thanks for coming on show. Stay.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you, Shushmita. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Dishnum Radio, for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and all
Yes.
the very best for your future endeavors.
Yes, thank you. So we are going to end this episode of Sanskruti today. Stay tuned for our Wednesday episode. So I'm going to end this today's session by saying good night, vanakkam, and disho.